In the past 5 decades, global affairs and the human experience in general gave research for peace a new definition and a greater importance.
From UNESCO perspective, education for peace, human rights, and democracy is the answer to all conflict and violence.
This view is shared by many advocates of peace education who firmly believe that the implementation of principles of peace education into the institutionalized educational system is a better approach, especially within the subjects encompassing the cultural heritage of the dominant society and the ethnic groups belonging to it.
Peace is part of the differing way of life of many cultures. Now, we will ask few students about their own definition of peace. Excuse me, students. For you, what is peace?
For me, peace is the state of tranquility or quiet.
For me, peace is the absence of war.
Well, for me, ma'am, peace is the harmony in personal relation.
As a consequence, the definition of peace varies based on place, religion, culture, or subject of study.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Considering all these definitions, it is a clear presumption that there is no unanimous definition for peace. Peace as an end, on the other hand, suggests that it is ultimate purpose of human life, which brings bliss, harmony, and serenity to mankind.
There are two kinds of peace. The negative peace or the Cold War is the absence of wide-range physical and violence or the absence of the conditions of war. Second, the peace or the hot peace is promoting cultural peace at its involves the developmental of the society which there is no violence.
There are also levels of peace: harmony with self, harmony with others, harmony with nature, and harmony with the sacred source. The first level of peace, known as personal or inner peace, is the most fundamental yet frequently unspoken. People fail to realize that peace begins with the individual. However, it must be noted that peace within starts from developing self-respect, honoring the body, mind, and spirit. The second level of peace is the hardest and the most challenging of all. For one thing, peace exists when there is cooperation among nations, and war ends when cooperation is re-established. The third level of peace is peace with nature, which involves respect for the environment, our sustainable living, and care for the nature.
Peace with the Supreme Being is the kind of peace that is paramount, higher than nothing. Thus, true peace is a gift of Supreme Being.
Peace education is a concept that is difficult to define. It has the following characteristics. It is developmental, then systematic in its approach, then transformative, and last, comprehensive or holistic in scope and ethical. In order to talk about peace education, one has to know about the basic assumption underlying its promotion. The concepts that students learn in the classroom must be useful in shaping and transforming the society.
Another basic conception and the promotion of peace education is that it is founded on universal values and attitude, which are related to the following: peace education is said to be human rights education because it talks about respect for the inalienable and inviolable rights of human beings. In democratic society, peace is required to allow citizens in maximum civic participation and enjoyment of equal rights and opportunities.
Peace education revolves around the development of cooperation and solidarity. In peace education, cultural preservation is imperative as it recognizes the efforts, values, and way of life of all people in a society. Internationalism is the advocacy and practice of cooperation and mutual agreement between and among nations. Environmental protection is the human effort for protecting and sustaining the environment for the benefit of the planet Earth and its inhabitants. Spirituality is the value for the inner well-being of humans vividly revealed through language and actions.
These are the components that form the curriculum of peace education. First, conflict resolution education. It is equipped to develop students with an impartial and safe environment where they can articulate their points of view and talk about issues in a satisfactory manner. These processes, practices, and skills help individuals understand conflict processes and creative thinking to mend damaged relationships.
Violence prevention education. It is argued that one way to resolve violence in any society is through violence prevention education. This primarily teaches the two basic forms of violence, namely direct violence and structural violence. Basically, these two forms differ in manifestation but are interdependent.
Non-violence education. Remarkable pillars of non-active violence include Mahatma Gandhi, who started a mass movement in India, and Martin Luther King, who fought the civil rights of African Americans in the United States of America.
Approaches and methodologies in teaching peace education. First, cooperative and collaborative learning. Second, critical pedagogy. Third, inquiry methodology or problem solving. Fourth, emphasis or on conceptual frameworks. Fifth, conflict analysis and responses. Sixth, civil society participation. Apart from foregoing methodologies and approaches, peace education can also be accomplished through the co-curricular life of the school.